Welcome back. We've got Mr. ID Anang, who is a business and leadership consultant, joining us in the studios this morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. Good morning, Chamberlain, and morning, Gimba.
Well, we're focusing on this matter again, trying to see, at least I think the country has the country resolving this matter. Yesterday, the president spoke. You know, he did say that it's also reflected in the dailies that is it the second, the third, or fourth time? We're not sure. Where he did give that directive that those attacks would no longer be tolerated. The police authorities need to move in and arrest people. And this comes again after the IGP was given that order to relocate to Benue. But yesterday we saw how the people felt in the studio, and that's, some say, it's a typology of what you get out there. So looking at this from a distance, as concerned Nigerian and watching things unfold, the president's comments, how we're acting and going about this, how far or close do you think we are to resolving this problem?
Well, if you ask me, if we take a backtrack, I think that there are certain things and actions that were not taken as at the time due. So timing is very critical. So if we start from the Mr. President's speech that he made in Nasarawa yesterday, I think that has come a bit too late. If you ask me, it's something that should have been done. You know, there's a place for expediency and being able to speak to the heart, you know, of a matter as a father. And I think we lost that opportunity.
Yeah, as far as I remember, the president did make a statement earlier on asking that the perpetrators of herdsmen killings should be arrested. Okay. So this is not the first time he's...
No, it's not. I mean, like Chamberlain said, probably 3 or 4 times. But the reality is that if your house is burning, the way and manner in which you're going to act will show if you need neighbors to join you or you want to take it solo. And that comes really from that decision that is taken and the ability to see it through. Now, if, like he did say, he had ordered that the IG relocate to the spot. Now, relocating, it shouldn't take the president to tell the IG to do that. As a matter of course, this is one matter that has been on our table for years as Nigerians. Now it's rearing its ugly head. We just needed to apply a lot more tact and a lot more wisdom in all facets, I mean, from head to toe. What we saw yesterday was very unfortunate and tells you that we are probably, you know, further from being able to sort it out until the authorities understand the true sense of leadership. And when I say authorities here, whether the security agencies, whether the governance institutions and the people themselves.
So what makes you think they don't understand that essence of leadership?
I mean, let's look at just yesterday, the clip you played. I felt very, very disappointed at the police PRO, you know, at what he said, and also the representative of the government. You know, you could see 2 institutions right before your eyes, federal and state, and you could take it down to the governor and the IG. You know, you could keep on drilling down, take a sergeant and take, you know, some community member, and it goes down the chain like that. If they displayed such lack of respect for what we have as a common brotherhood, then it's open grounds. I mean, for lawlessness.
Does this have any implication whatsoever for assuming Oha State Police?
I think, Chamberlain, the way I'll answer that question is I'll throw an analogy, and if you distinguished gentlemen, I'll ask you, would you give a knife to a 4-year-old?
What would the knife be in this case?
No, but it's an instrument. And you look at a 4-year-old and hold a knife and say, you're giving it to him as a gift, a present or something. He just holds on to it, you know? Would you give a knife to a 4-year-old?
Are you alluding to state police mean a knife?
It's an analogy.
Well, we need to understand the context of the analogy.
You just follow my trail. Or would you give the knife to a mature man? That question tells you it's an instrument. You call it a knife. You call it what it's going to do will serve multiple purposes. So if you look at it within that context, what is policing? And you look at it and say, who are the guys that are going to run the institutions? Do we have mature minds to run it? So There's a lot of dissension.
What about those?
Because of, that's the matter. I mean, it's really around maturity.
What about the school of thought that will say the fact that you're going to have checks and balances, the fact that you're going to have several laws that will be made to support or check the rule-based state police makes it no longer a knife,
you know, Chamberlain,
in the manner of speaking?
One of the things we do in this country, we live in self-denial. Right before our eyes, there's a lot of impunity. Nigeria is a place where lawlessness is the order of the day. If you decide to be on the track and the path of the law, you are the one that is different.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should throw our hands up in the air.
No, but you're starting from where you are. You see, that's the point. We throw away these things. We need to deal with these issues. And as long as there isn't consequence management, we're just wasting our time. Show me how a law is being executed and implemented. Then you can tell me that when the handlers come, they will abide by it.
Aren't you painting everything with one brush?
Sorry?
Aren't you painting everything with one brush?
I mean, starting from the streets, on Lagos roads, how many people will start? See, let me tell you, the way I see it personally, love has departed from our hearts because we don't know what it is to love your neighbor.
Whoa.
That's the truth.
You're not harsh on us?
I'm not being harsh. It's reality. We live in this little paradise of denial. And we think all is well. I attended a secondary school, a primary school, where nobody told me, there was nothing about age, there was nothing about
But I still witness some love on the streets. So
which one?
Yeah, I mean,
must be love in the garden.
There's
a movie. You probably are watching a movie. But that's reality. So, I mean, the police does not show that they empathize with the citizens. And you know, it's an absence of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence from the part of our leaders. And it's a starting point of self-awareness. That's the basics. Self-awareness.
You know, there are processes and there are laws where society that lives by laws.
Yeah.
And the police should carry out laws that are promulgated. For instance, the anti-open grazing law in Benue State and in Taraba State by extension also. When that law came into being, what should have the police done at that time?
I think the question is, you should go back and ask, in the process of making the law, was the police part of it? So it's not after the fact. No, it's true.